And tonight we have a special guest with us from, we've got Sergeant Scott Lunsford, who is our SRO down at Hot Springs Elementary School. And he's got at least one member of his flag team with us tonight. And he's going to present the American flag for us for our Pledge of Allegiance this evening. Sergeant Lunsford, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, sir. And we could have more of our flag team, but they're doing another American thing. They're playing baseball. My man here behind me is going to come in. He was playing on the diamond over there, and he came here because he knew he was going to do it. And he's going to make y'all proud. Madison County Americans. Flag team, forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, young man.
Everybody can be seated.
Well, at this time, yeah, everybody's welcome to be seated at this time, and we will observe a moment of silence as we normally do before our meetings. Tonight, I would ask everybody to keep it, and we've got several people that have heavy hearts among us tonight. Commissioner Garrison lost his father-in-law over the weekend, and we also lost a very key member of our Planning and Zoning Board over the weekend as well. Mr. Lee Wild passed away as a result of a motorcycle accident. And so if you will keep, please keep Lee's family, his wife, his 3 children in your thoughts and prayers, as well as Commissioner Garrison's family in your thoughts and prayers. And I'm sure that, I know those aren't the only 2 people that we lost, but those 2 hit home especially for us. So if you'll keep those folks in your thoughts and prayers at this time as we recognize a moment of silence. All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate that young man from Hot Springs for coming all the way out here to do that on behalf of his flag team. We appreciate that very much. Thank you, Sergeant Lunsford.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes,
Scott,
sir.
we appreciate your leadership down there in Hot Springs. Thank you for what you do.
We'll get you back when you can get the whole team here, and you just let us know when that is. We'll have them, be more than happy to have you guys all come back.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, folks, the first thing on the agenda this evening is the agenda approval. And I'm not aware of any alterations ahead of time, but are there any alterations that we need to make? All right,
Yes,
Colonel
Mr.
tells me
Chairman.
that there are. What do we got,
I
Colonel?
got one, we need to move, item number 5 becomes the North Carolina Department of Commerce Rural Building Reuse and Infrastructure Application and Resolution.
All right, you're gonna have to say that one more time. Item number 5 will become what?
The North Carolina Department of Commerce Rural Building Reuse and Infrastructure Application and Resolution. There's 2 documents in your packet. One's the application and one's the resolution from the North Carolina Department.
Okay.
And that will scoot the rest of the items down. Finance becomes 6, county manager becomes 7, and adjournment becomes 8.
Okay.
I move that we
I was gonna say, is that the only one you have, Colonel?
Yes, and I've called a couple other items here in my part, but to make sure to get the board update.
You'll put that on county manager?
Yes, sir.
Okay. County manager update, we'll have that stuff. Is there any other from the board up here? Any other alterations? Okay, this time I will entertain a motion that we approve the amended agenda. Motion by Vice Chairman Hensley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garrison. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. Our next item this evening is going to be consent agenda. Consent agenda consists tonight of tax refunds and releases from all of our Board of E&R meetings. Our annual settlement of the 2023 taxes, the order of collection for the 2024 taxes, designation of applicant's agent resolution for North Carolina Division of Emergency Management, Hot Springs Library Property Lease Agreement, the COPS Grant Funding Capital Project Ordinance, the resolution in support of North Carolina Senate Bill 248, Hot Springs Library General Contractor Agreement, and the approval of our special and recess meeting minutes from March 1st, our regular meeting minutes from March 11th, and our special meeting minutes from March 24th. And that's everything listed on the consent agenda this evening. And at this time, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garrison, is there a second? Second by Vice Chairman Hensley. Any discussion?
I think just point of clarity for the public, because I've had questions about the resolution for Senate Bill 248. That's a resolution dealing with the accessibility of the Register of Deeds office for birth certificates of those who have been adopted. So that's the reason it's on the consent agenda.
And that is in order to make those records more accessible for those who have been adopted, if I read the resolution correctly.
That's correct.
All right. Any additional discussion at this time? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor of the consent agenda? All right, the consent agenda passes. Our next item on the agenda tonight is our public comments portion of the evening. For those of you that may be new to the process, you have 3 minutes to say whatever's on your mind. We don't respond, we listen. We need you to come to the podium. Please state your name, especially in the event that I mispronounce your name when I introduce you. Please state your name, let us know what community you're from, and then we'll start the clock at that point. You'll have 3 minutes to speak, and at which point our clerk will let us know when our 3 minutes is up, and then we'll cut you off if you're still going. But anyway, hopefully you can get in everything that you want to say within your 3 minutes. Our first person, and I'm gonna right off the bat here, I'm gonna probably mispronounce the first name, but is it Danalee or Danalee? Danalee. Danalee Pipes. Please come up to the podium there.
What's that last name?
Good evening, ma'am.
You did fine with my name.
Thank you.
I'm Dan Lee Pipes. I live at 140 South Main. The building next to us is 136 South Main, also known as the Sprinkle Building, owned by the county. 5 years ago, my daughter and I purchased 140 South Main and did major renovation. It's of historical significance to the community because the street level had been the fire department and the second story had been the town hall for many years. We basically put our life savings into renovating the building, and we're fortunate in that it was still standing after the flood. But our estimated loss is over $100,000. I'm happy to say that I was able to move back into my condo on the second floor about 4 weeks ago, and my daughter was continuing to work on the street level, which serves as a multi-purpose room for our family. She runs her design studio out of there. The children, our grandchildren, are homeschooled at times out of there. We use it for community activities. But the wall it's called the party wall between 140 and 136 has developed a severe moisture problem. We sent a letter in December to Mr. Honeycutt with recommendations from our structural engineer, and we got no reply from that. Recently, my daughter has sent an email explaining the problems with the moisture. We're getting this white film growing up the wall, and it smells terrible in there. We're running a dehumidifier constantly. We never had any kind of water problem before this, and we do not have a water problem on the wall that we share with the building that Martha Ramsey owns. So I'm here tonight. We've sent letters and we've sent emails and we get zero response. And I think that I'm asking for your help, that we need to get some action on this building immediately. To my knowledge, it was just boarded up and all that muck and stuff that was in there is still there, and it's really causing some problems. Also, my contractor, who is Matt Lucas with Every Angle, has also tried to talk to people at the county with no response, and it's becoming a health issue for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pipes. Next individual signed up this evening is Bryant Lindsay. Mr. Lindsay, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, thank you.
I've given some material that's in front of each one of you, and I'm concerned about my time, so I won't spend a lot of time explaining where I'm from, except to say that the Over Mountain Victory, North Carolina State Trail intersects with the Appalachian Trail up at Roan Mountain, and of course you are next to Yancey County along the Appalachian Trail and along the Blue Ridge. We were very interested in making certain that all of the counties in which the Over Mountain Victory National Historic and State Trail went became counties with, county committees, so that they could participate in America 250 NC. That's the only reason that I haven't come to you earlier. Last night, if you will look at the first piece of information which I gave you, it's a map, and you will see on that map all of the counties of North Carolina as of this morning, which were in or out of America 250 NC in terms of having county committees. And you'll see that I circled Madison County up there, but down on the bottom part of that, you'll see a little dot, and that's for Rutherford County. And Rutherford County last night, their county commission passed their resolution establishing them as the last county that we had not yet had enrolled as with a county committee. So Madison County, of course, is extremely important to us, and we would, for lots of reasons, think that it would redound to the benefit of Madison County to establish a county committee for personal and other reasons. And again, because of time, I won't go into a lot of that. But if you look at the second piece that I've given you, that's all that you have to approve in essence in terms of having a proclamation. And if you will look through that, and I have not had the opportunity to show it to you, Chairman, nor to you, to your council, but all that's required with that template letter is to write in the name of Madison County 8 times and to say that you approve having a county committee. Now, there are a couple of steps that you need to take after that. In one county, the county manager said this is important enough, we need to pass it immediately. At that time, there was $10,000 at issue because that was prior to the deadline that the state had set to distribute money to counties without any match. And so what that county manager did was to say, okay, I'm going to be the contact information. She filled out the appropriate form in order for them to qualify. I think I'm here in a 3-minute. There's a lot more to be said. I hope you will talk to me after the meeting so that we can see how this could go forward. And I think you agree that it's
Happy to speak with you after the meeting, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, our final person signed up this evening is Connie Mullen.
Come on down.
Come on down. Everybody knows Connie already, but go ahead and introduce
Last month,
yourself.
I didn't introduce myself, and Rick said, you forgot to introduce yourself. So I'm Connie Mullen, and I actually wear a couple of hats. I own the gallery in downtown Marshall named Flow Gallery, and then I'm on the Downtown Marshall Association board. First of all, I'm really pleased to say that Flow Gallery has opened. We were business number 5 in downtown Marshall that is open. There's another one that's in a container company, shipping container thing, just a temporary thing. But so 5 businesses are open, more are on the way. We do have a grand reopening. I talked about it last month. More details are coming forward. Think of it as an open house. We're not like doing a big mermaid festival. It really is meant to be for the businesses to open their doors, maybe have some music, maybe have something else going on. May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Starting on the 1st at 4 o'clock, we're gonna do the ribbon cutting, and we talked about getting somebody from the county commissioners to come and help with that ribbon cutting. And then throughout that weekend, we hope that people are gonna come by and shop, spend some money, enjoy being around people and seeing the progress that's been made. I have to tell you that it's been a long haul. The 6 months has really been difficult. The grants that have come in, and in particular the one that just came this past couple of weeks from the county and the other contributions that came together, really made a difference. And I'll tell you the story. I was in Staples on Sunday morning doing a little bit of shopping for things, you know, you forget about, you gotta have tape to go in the tape dispenser, all these things that we no longer had. And I happened to see another couple from downtown Marshall, and it was the first time I saw them smiling. They were there, they were buying some of those little things, the stapler, the pencils, the things that you need to run your business, and they were smiling and they were laughing, and it really made a difference to know that the contributions and the grants that have come in have made a difference. Now, when we do get open, we still need support. We need people to come in and shop. We need you throughout the year. It can't just stop after the grand reopenings. There are 2 other things I wanted to bring up. One is, I hope that somehow we can get a post office opportunity of some sort, even if it's a little blue box in downtown Marshall. I don't want to have to drive up to the bypass to drop off mail. That would be an easy fix. I know there was discussion about doing something at the bypass. I hope something will happen. Not easy to have to drive all the way down to Weaverville just to do my pick up my mail and mail things out if I'm not in Mars Hill. The other thing is, just a consideration, is an ATM. We don't have a bank, we don't have an ATM, so just put that in the back of your mind for us, because that will help our businesses. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Connie. All right, this time I'll entertain a motion public comment be closed. Motion by Vice Chairman Hensley, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garrison, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, we will move on. Thank you, everybody, appreciate you being conscientious of the time, and we appreciate your comments. Up next is, reading glasses back on, sorry. BioHealth, Dustin Burleson with our BioHealth update. Mr. Burleson, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, thank you. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Good evening, board. Thanks for having me on your agenda. It's really been a while since we've been able to come, obviously, before the hurricane. So just wanted to give a few updates on kind of what's going on with Maya that would impact Madison County. First, and let me just make sure, there we go, is just kind of what the health plan Medicaid updates are in regard to VIA. So as you guys know, July of last year, the state launched what was called Taylor Plan. And there are 4 MCOs across the state, VIA Health being one of those that serves 32 counties, the majority of those counties being in the western part of the state. And in Taylor Plan, VIA is responsible for the physical health, behavioral health, and pharmacy care for both adults and youth plan members. So it's really plan members who've been diagnosed with moderate to severe mental health or substance use disorder or have an intellectual and developmental disability. We have a provider network that includes hospital health systems, FQHCs, the health department, primary specialty care practices, behavioral health, residential, community providers, pharmacies across the state. And in the future, I can bring a map and it can kind of show you where all these practices are across the state. Because it's probably one of the third largest, and that's compared to commercial plans too. So we've really expanded because we know we have people that's got tailored plans under VIA across the state, not just in these counties they live. And so plan members receive tailored care management that helps them connect with services, supports, and really their need for whole person care. With that, we have what's called VIA Total Care Perks. So if you're under VIA Total Care, there are these perks that are really designed to support members in a variety of health and well-being services and supports that really include wellness, pregnancy, GED, safety, non-medical, transportation, and within these different domains, there's additional supports that would be included. So the NEMT, non-emergent Medicaid transformation for physical and behavioral health appointments is one of the other things that you receive. And then you guys have hopefully heard of the Healthy Opportunities Pilot that Madison County is a part of. That's administered by Impact Health, and they can provide additional support for those individuals in VIA Total Care. The other thing, just want to mention, changing gears a little bit. For the last couple of years, I've come and talked to you guys a little bit about Child and Family Specialty Plan. And so just to remind you what this is, historically this was embedded in tailored plans, so this is something we were covering either way. This is the child welfare and foster care population, so primarily the DSS kids in custody. I think 2 separate occasions this board has provided letters of support that VIA continue to be that plan, and it stayed in a regional setting. And appreciate that. However, the state did determine eventually that it was going to go with one statewide plan. And so they announced that Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to be that single plan serving those DSS kids. And December of last year, they developed, and you can kind of see the timeline here. This is the amendment that shows the implementation period that's already going on. And then contract 1 is slated to start December 1 of this year. And so that's where VIA will step out, serving these kids in DSS foster care. So that's a kid, let's say they're on a DSS couch, they would call VIA works together. Starting December 1, that's going to be Blue Cross in whatever capacity that is, whether it's an 800 number or whatever. So VIA is committed to stay there until that transition does occur.
That's been pushed back a time or 2 already,
It's
hasn't
been
it?
pushed back several times, and obviously not the outcome we wanted, but
Right.
certainly respected. Other thing, just wanted to mention the Hurricane Helene recovery. I'm sure you guys have heard lots about all this, but as a part of this, one of the things that's happened is the Hope for NC grant that has taken place, and it's a federally funded grant. And it's really administered by Homeland Security, FEMA together, and it's really designed to assist individuals and communities in recovering from the effects of disasters. And so VIA is starting to hire people to take the lead in this grant. Sheila Wilson's the lady that's going to be covering the team lead for the majority of these western counties. And so she's going to work with both individuals and communities to kind of help them find the resources they need. If there's obviously any mental health things that they would need, connect there. Because we know that, now is really going to be the time that people start feeling those things, whereas it was survival mode, right after the storm for a while. And then just a map, this is my last slide. This just kind of shows you the VIA counties that has some sort of impact from the hurricanes. As you guys know, this part, the western part, was impacted the most. So with that, I want to appreciate you guys giving me this time. Any questions you have, feel free to ask me. And anytime, please do reach out.
So once the Blue Cross Blue Shield program goes into effect, Vi is completely out of the picture on that aspect?
So what would happen is, right now what VIA does is we have an embedded care manager that is at DSS, is there staff with kids, even kids that aren't VIA kids, to help them navigate the system. And then they call VIA when, they have a kid in need in residential treatment. And December 1, that would no longer be us they call. There would be a point of contact in some way, shape, or form, and we haven't heard what those details are that would be Blue Cross. But we'll still manage all the youth that aren't in that population. So if you're a kid not in DSS custody, it would still be VIA, but it's just those DSS custody kids.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you for that clarification.
absolutely.
Anybody else have any questions? Bill? No. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see, item number 5 is our North Carolina Department of Commerce application and resolution. Colonel, you've got the floor for that.
I'm gonna ask Mr. Brad Hoot.
I'm sorry, Brad, come on up, Brad.
Yes,
I wonder
sir.
why you were lurking in the back.
Is that- Yeah, I'm
All
going
right.
back today. Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, I have, you have a memo detailing the project that we're talking about, Project Gas Out. The project plans to relocate its operations from Asheville to Hot Springs, and the company's purchasing and renovating the former Peerless Blowers facility at 172 South Andrew Street in Hot Springs. They're looking at investing about $3 million, 1.4 building purchase and 1.6 for renovations. They're looking at creating 20 new full-time jobs with an annual wage of $48,250. That's all of those 20 jobs averaged out. And that exceeds what our county's average wage is, so they're gonna be able to qualify for some additional incentives as well. They're gonna be doing workforce training in renewable energy and manufacturing disciplines. The grant we're requesting is for $250,000, and we have a 5% match for that, which is $12,500. And we appreciate you all updating your agenda so we could consider this, because we're kind of on a fast track here. The Economic Development Partnership and April Riddle have enabled us to get in on the February cohort of applications with the Department of Commerce. So we actually should hear about this next week, which is going to be very, very fast turnaround.
Government usually doesn't work that fast.
No, sir, that's why I wanted to highlight that point. But we did get the application submitted, and this is, as soon as we were able to get the resolution to support that application on the agenda for you all to consider. So that resolution is also in your packet, and it basically goes as follows. It says, whereas Project Gas Out has proposed relocating its operations from Asheville to Hot Springs in Madison County. The relocation project involves the purchase and renovation of former Peerless Blowers facilities at 172 South Andrews Avenue, Hot Springs. The project will contribute to economic development by creating new full-time jobs, enhancing renewable energy manufacturing capabilities, and supporting workforce training in welding, electrical systems, and assembly. And the total estimated cost of the project is $3 million, including $1.4 million for the building purchase and $1.6 million for renovations. And the North Carolina Department of Commerce Rural Building Reuse Program provides grant funding to assist with building renovations projects that support economic development in rural areas. Madison County recognizes the importance of this program in facilitating economic growth and improving opportunities for its residents. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the purpose of the project, the governing board of Madison County fully supports Project Gas Out, recognizing its potential to create jobs, drive economic growth, and strengthen the renewable energy manufacturing sector in the region. Local government support, the governing board affirms its support for Project Gas Out and is committed to ensure the successful implementation of this project. 3, cash match commitment. Madison County pledges to provide a cash match equivalent to at least 5% of the grant requested amount towards the project as required by the North Carolina Department of Commerce Rural Building Reuse Program Guidelines. 4, application submission, the governing body, the governing board of Madison County fully supports the submission of application to the North Carolina Department of Commerce for funding under the Rural Building Reuse Program to assist with building renovations for Project Gas Out. Be it further resolved that the governing board also authorizes the county manager or their designee to take all necessary actions to prepare and submit the application on behalf of Madison County and execute any agreements related to the grant if awarded.
So Brad, only thing I've got there is
Yes, sir.
what the resolution you just read does not match the resolution that's in front of us
There's
on
a
your,
couple changes.
on your numbers,
And the numbers?
on the numbers. I've got line,
Yeah, the line 4 has, 1.4 million in each of those spots, or 1 million.
it's got
or something like
2.4
that.
million, it says estimated total cost of projects 2.4, including 1.4 million for building purchase and 1 million for renovations.
That may have been one of the previous copies of it.
If we vote on this, what I'm signing tonight, does it have the correct numbers in it? I guess is my question.
What you would be signing is what you have in front of you. What was received in the board packet.
So we just need to strike through those numbers.
Is that okay, Mr. Attorney?
Sure, I mean,
Okay.
as long as what you vote on is what you sign.
Okay.
And one question I've got is, on this resolution, it just says creating new full-time jobs. On this, it says creating 20 full-time jobs. Do we need to put the number 20 in this
That's
resolution?
that's part of the grant application itself.
Okay.
So the money dollar figures are the only thing we need to change when I sign it, done?
Where you're talking about.
Should read 3 million, 1.4 for the building purchase and 1.6 for the
Should be in
renovation.
paragraph number 4.
Yes.
Chairman, yes.
3.0, 1.4, and then 1.6. Okay. I just need to strike through those and initial them, is that what we did?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Excuse me, any other questions? For Brad, anybody got any questions? Bill, any questions for Brad? So this time, I will entertain a motion that we approve the amended resolution as we just discussed.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garrison, is there a second? I'll second. Is there, let's see, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. So the resolution passes.
Thank you.
Appreciate you putting all that together in a rush, Brad, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Colonel. Staff, thank you too. I know everybody, that was all hands on deck kind of thing. To get that done in time, we appreciate it very much. Item number 6, Madam Finance Director Carrie Ledford. Floor is yours, ma'am.
Commissioners and Chairman, before you find for your approval, item A, which is budget amendment number 10. With this amendment, you'll see donations to your library from the Friends of the Library in the amount of $1,040.93, as well as additional revenue in the amount of $6,200 in the sale of surplus property. See the recording of the funds from the North Carolina Cash Flow Loan Program that Madison County received in the amount of $1,601,939.25. You'll also see the recording of increases to the fire district fund to account for additional revenues and the corresponding expenses for our fire departments. Find the increase of interest to offset revenue decreases in both the inspections department as well as the register of deeds. Here too is the recording of additional revenue generated by the quarter-cent sales tax in the amount of $68,181.05. All of these amendments are pending your approval.
That's the first time sales tax has been in the 60s, isn't it?
It's 10,000 more than last month.
Wow.
That'll help the school budget situation.
What month exactly is that from?
That's 3 months back. This is for the month of December, so the sales in the month of December is what.
That's the Christmas bump, maybe.
So.
Could just be a Christmas bump. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll know in
Stay
3
tuned
days.
next month and
3
see if
days.
it's a trend.
That's right.
All right. All right, so we, budget amendment number 10, any additional questions for our finance officer, finance director? Hearing none, this time I'll entertain a motion that we approve budget amendment number 10. Motion by Vice Chairman Hensley, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garrison, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, the budget amendment number 10 is approved.
Thank you, gentlemen. Next is March's financial reports. We're at 75% of the FY '25 budget. And for our general fund, we have received 84.48% of our revenue, and our expenses are at 57.78.
That is great. Any questions in regards to that for our finance director? All right, I think you're off the hook for tonight. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hey, Carrie.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you already up on it? Never mind.
Okay.
All right. Very good. All right, up next is County Manager Rod Honeycutt.
Good evening, gentlemen. Hit a couple of highlights real quick. For the fairgrounds, the county attorney and procurement officer have completed the legal review. We're waiting on bid bond documents. Once the bid bond documents return, I'll be able to execute that design build contract. And I understand the sense of urgency, we'll put the fire underneath to get it done as soon as possible.
Appreciate it.
Gentlemen, pertaining to the courthouse, Madison County, the old courthouse, and the Sprinkle Shelton building, Davenport returned their cost estimates on Thursday of last week. Both of them was between $1.6 and $5 million respectively. On the work session coming up this month, I'll provide options. One of the options is a cleanup bill of about $500,000 that we'd have to eat out of the insurance money. Now that we've got the numbers, I can provide you with a concrete way ahead to so you know what's going on with it. Gentlemen, for items number 7A, is for the Hazard Mitigation Program Acquisition Demolition Project application. Gentlemen, this application covers 5 products. This is the first 5 properties. This is the first batch of properties that we will have when the state purchases property using FEMA funds. We will then be presented with the opportunity to retain or to give to the municipality or to reject. But right now, this is for information purposes only, besides signing the application. Manny, anything else I need to hit on that besides signing the application? And it's my signature. It's my signature on this process. Is right. This is the information only. So, your questions.
And that's those 5 residences that are listed at the end of that application?
It's
Is that
the
correct?
about 5 or 6 pages from the back end.
These are for individually owned properties from the public, correct?
17 Silver Mill, 86 North Rollins, 315 South Main Street, 2718 North Carolina Highway 251, and 354 Gables Creek Road. I spoke to the town administrator this morning. He knows where the application draft and inspect his, and as soon as we get the other 12 properties, we'll circle back up with the town administrator, because there is one in Mars Hill and one in Hot Springs in this next batch that's coming in.
Will some of these just be demolition, or is it go hand in hand, the acquisition and demolition?
It goes hand in hand. The county has no match or no responsibility in the demolition. It's all state funded through FEMA dollars.
So, in other words, this process is a much more expedited process, but similar process to the home that was lost in Mars Hill during the last hurricane, or during Hurricane Matthew, I think it was, 5 years ago, whichever one that was.
I think that property took about 4 years.
5.
5 years.
Yeah. Almost 5 years to the day.
The estimate this morning from Stephen Jackson, who's the department lead, is 180 days from beginning to close.
Very good.
All right, Jim, so if your questions on that one.
Any questions? Anybody have any questions? I think it's pretty self-explanatory with what was in the packet. Okay, Colonel?
All right, Jim, item 7B, is county-owned surplus. This is a new bid in the amount of $2,000 for PIN number 9861-18-6574 for 0.26 acres, 0.026 acres, with a tax value of $74,875.
It's point
It's for
two.
consideration of approval.
0.26 acres.
0.26.
Correct. So just
Less than 3/10.
about a quarter of an acre.
3/10.
I move we move forward, accept the bid, and start to. I lost my train of thought.
So start the upset bid process, is that what you're trying to say? So what we have is 3 options, gentlemen. We've got one is we can accept the bid and begin the upset bid process, which gives us the opportunity to still refuse the bid if we don't like it at the end of the process. The second thing is we can just outright reject the bid. Third thing is we can offer counteroffer. So at this time, now that we know our options, Commissioner Garrison has already made a motion that we accept the bid and begin the upset bid process. Is there a second?
I'll say.
Second by Vice Chairman Hensley. Any additional discussion, or any discussion at this time? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor of accepting the bid and beginning the upset bid process? All right.
Gentlemen, item 7C is a continuation from last month. You signed the Mars Hill portion of the 213 water.
Colonel, back up 1 second. I'm sorry. I do have a question. It's too late now, but I do have a question. I noticed on the application, they didn't fill out their full address. Is that problematic?
I don't think it's problematic, because when you come down to the final, with the deeds and the paperwork, those.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt, Colonel. Carry on.
So gentlemen, 7C is a continuation from last month. This is the Marshall portion of the 213 water project. This is a $4.7 million contract. We did a change order to begin the contract work as we continue the process of acquisition of land. This will allow the contractor to begin purchasing the material to begin work. And I'll defer to the attorney if anything else needs to be covered on this one.
And for those of you that came from the Mars Hill area, you drove through some of that construction already taking place in the Petersburg area on the Mars Hill side. And so we will soon see that on the Marshall side as well, assuming that this is approved in the next couple moments. Any additional discussion from you, Colonel?
No, sir.
All right.
Ready to see it move, and I have a appointment on Friday for the acquisition of property with that family.
Very good. That's the final piece of that puzzle, correct? All right, so we've heard the update from the county manager.
Colonel, just a side question, just to clarify, town marshals, they've solved this document as well,
Talked about it this morning on the phone and give them an update, yes, sir.
and they're good. Excellent, thank you.
Want to see it move?
Oh, yeah.
Are they gonna be able to do both projects at the same time, or are they gonna wait till they finish? Okay.
They're going to do both simultaneously. They don't have to redeploy equipment, digging equipment, they want to get it all done in one whack right here.
And they actually wanted, the contractor wanted it, both sides going at the same time. That was their ideal scenario. All right. Any additional questions for the Colonel?
Timeline on acquisition.
Pardon me?
So I don't know, I'll have to get back to you and tell you the timeline. I know they're leaning forward.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the second half of the Highway 213 water improvement contract.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garrison, is there a second? I'll second. Any discussion? What's that?
I said I was waiting on Bill.
Yes, I was too. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, move on with that contract as well. That's exciting for the Marshall side now. It's great.
And gentlemen, in 7D is county board and appointments. Gentlemen, I think you've got 3. Chairman Whitlow, you've got those in front of you?
Yeah, do have them.
You have library board, transportation board,
I just gotta get back to the right. Oh, there it is.
2 boards, yeah.
Let me use your cheat sheet. All right. So, first one is the Library Board of Trustees. And I believe as a recommendation from the library is, I believe, and this will be a reappointment, is it not? Of Elizabeth Ayers to a 3-year term.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garrison, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chairman Hensley. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. And the next one is Transportation Advisory Board. This is specifically designated as a member from the faith-based community. As the board representative on the Transportation Advisory Board, I will report to the board that I have talked with Tommy Justice and he has agreed to continue on. Tommy is currently the chairman of that committee, or of that board. And so at this time, in order to maintain continuity on that board as we get ready to introduce a new transportation director to the county and to all the employees there at that department, I think the continuity of leaving Tommy on that board would be advantageous for all, and I'll make that in the form of a motion. Is there a second? All right, so we have a second by Commissioner Briggs. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right.
Again, if any questions or guidance, that's the last item for open session. We have the item G, and it's closed session for personnel.
So is there, or did we skip the opioid litigation update?
Oh, I think I got to turn you over to the county attorney for that one. I'm
E and
sorry.
F, we can discuss those in closed session.
Those are both closed session items? Okay. So at this time, get out my handy cheat sheet here. We will, I'll entertain a motion that we go into closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11. And that would be A3 for attorney-client privilege. Is that correct, Mr. Attorney?
Yes, and also for personnel.
I'm sorry, and as well as A6, that would also be 143-318.11A6 for purposes of personnel. So this time, I'll entertain that in the form of motion. Actually, I'll make it in the form of motion. How about a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chairman Hensley. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? All right, we'll take about a 10-minute recess, and then we'll go into closed session. time, I entertain the motion that we return to open session.
So moved.
Motion by by Commissioner Garrison, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chairman Hensley, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, we are now back in open session. At this time, I'll entertain a motion that we amend tonight's agenda to include a discussion, a closed session discussion for personnel.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Garrison, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Chairman Hensley, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right. At this time, I will entertain a motion that we return back to closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A 6. Is there a, I'll make that in the form of motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Briggs, any discussion?
Is there anything else other than personnel that we're gonna cover in the latter part?
I think go ahead and make it for personnel.
Because we already did the attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, I wanna make sure we had all that done.
Yeah. All right.
Nothing further.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, we return to closed session. at this time, I'll entertain a motion that we return to open session.
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chairman Hensley, is there a second?
I don't care to say.
Second by Commissioner Briggs. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All right, we're back in open session. Colonel, do we have anything else we need to dispense of this evening?
No, sir, we're rounds complete.
All right, this time I entertain a motion that we adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Briggs to adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Garrison, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? We stand adjourned.